Hey, my friends, it's Patrick Allmond from Stop Doing Nothing, and I thought I would talk to you a little bit today about morning routines. If you've watched any of my videos in the past about morning routines, I talk a lot about how important it is to start off the day right, whether it's mentally or physically or psychologically or whatever it is that you're having a challenge with. And so I thought I would talk to you a little bit about kind of how I set up my morning routine and some ideas as to how you should set up yours. And if you have any comments, or actually if you're just watching live and you yourself are having your morning coffee, comment below with your name, your location, and what you do in a great morning routine. It is about 6:22 U.S. Central Time here in Oklahoma City, and my alarm went off at 5. I probably reached over about 5:05, 5:06 when it finally penetrated my skull and turned it off, turned on the light. And one of the first things I did while I was in bed is immediately start stretching. And also I threw the covers off, because if I land underneath warm covers too much, I'm never going to get up. So throw the covers off and do some stretching while I'm in bed right there. Get up, make the bed right away, and then one of the first things I do when I don't have it around me is I have one of those blue Yeti cups, or those, not blue Yeti, that's a microphone, a Yeti cup, and those Yeti cups hold 3.5 cups of water. And I didn't pick it because it had 3.5 glasses of water, cups of water. It was picked for me from a friend of mine. It's branded for Stop Doing Nothing. I actually set that out on the counter the night before, full of water, so I know there's 3.5 cups in there, and I know when I walk out of the bedroom, on the counter right there is my water. That's the first thing I do. Get out of bed and get my water in me. Water is more important than coffee. It's more important than caffeine. But you got to get that in your body, and you got to get hydrated as soon as possible. And sometimes in the morning, I'll even down 2 of them. I read from somebody a while back, somebody much smarter than me, that you get really dehydrated when you sleep at night. And so I've been doing this for years now, as I get a lot of water in me right away. And something else I do, and I'm not doing it right this second because I've been up for an hour, but something else I do quite a bit is I stay standing. Way too often we get up and then, hey, CK, good morning, lady. How are you? Oh, goodness. I'm always thinking about you and our barbecue. Our barbecue fills. But after I get my water, I try to stand up a lot. I think way too often in our morning routine, we get our stuff going, and we want to sit. Oh, goodness, I'm just waking up. I want to sit. No, the motion, you've heard that all the cliches are true. Motion creates emotion, and motion makes you want to do more things, and motion also wakes up the body. So avoid that tendency to sit as much as possible. I did sit for this video, but for the most part, I try to stand as much as possible. I like to track all my numbers, so I get my Apple Watch on as soon as possible to track my heart rate and then get in my standing and my movement hours. And then after I get, so I've made my bed, I've gotten my water in me, I'm standing. If there's leftover coffee, I know this is really bad for you coffee fiends. If there's leftover coffee, I'll microwave a cup of coffee. Yes, I like my water, but yes, I like my coffee also. And then if I'm still on the ball, if I'm still doing my normal morning routine, what I will try to do is I'll try to get a little bit of food in me. This is not breakfast. This is a little bit of food in me to get my digestive system going. And so what I have over here in front of me is, you can see it, and a lot of you don't like, I have some chicken that I cooked, that I boiled the previous day, and it's only like half a breast. It's not much at all, just a little bit, and not really an orange so much as, they have these miniature oranges, I can't think of what they're called, but, oh, there went my fork. Oh well, the cat can have it. They have these miniature oranges, and they're really easy to peel. And so if you don't want like a full orange, these cuties, they're called cuties, that's what they are. You get these cuties, and they're really easy to peel right there. And by the way, for those of you that are watching, please like and share also. Let's get some other people in here talking about morning routines. So I've got my morning protein here, and I've got some morning sugar in me, and then I've got my coffee over here from my daughter. My stop fucking procrastinating coffee cup right there. So what I'll usually do if I'm not doing a video like this is I'll stand and I'll consume all of this. So I've made my bed. I've done some morning stretches. I've bent over. I may lay on the ground and do some, hip flexor movements. So I've got all that going on. I'm going to get some protein in me to get my digestive system going. One of the things I learned just through experimenting with my own body is one of the ways you lose weight, one of the better ways for me to lose weight is to actually have more small meals in me. And if you ever go to a personal trainer or a professional, that's what they'll tell you, as opposed to eating those big 3 meals, is to get small bits of food in you to keep your digestive system going. So I want my digestive system working for me first thing in the morning. So protein, which our body is built off of, and then some natural sugar. Probably one of the bad habits I have is I still load up my coffee with cream and sugar, which I know, not cream and sugar, Splenda and sugar, which I know the coffee fiends just hate. The fact that they even microwave the coffee in the first place, I know people, real coffee purists hate, but hey, you know what? It's leftover coffee and I don't like to waste it. So bed's made, I've stretched, I'm standing as much as possible. I try to avoid sitting at all, to tell you the truth, for the most part, except for today, right? I try to avoid sitting at all until I actually get to my desk, whether it's in the home office or I have an appointment someplace or I'm working in an outside office. And then, all that's happening between 5 o'clock and 5:45 in the morning, U.S. Central Time, when I get up. Hey, good morning, Jill. Goodness gracious, I haven't seen that lovely face in a long time. So that's all happening after I get up at 5. My alarm goes at 5 o'clock in the morning up until about 5:45. My goal is to be, if I'm going to the gym that morning, is to be dressed and ready by 5:50. My gym is right around the corner. I'm a YMCA membership. And so by 5:50, I want to be fully clothed, socks, spandex, shorts, t-shirts, tennis shoes, have my headphones with me, and then drive maybe 5 minutes right around to the gym. And I'm one of those guys at the gym that's there when the door is unlocked. There's about a core 5 or 6 people that are out there in their cars waiting, and I like to be one of those right there. So when that door is unlocked, we're all in there punching our code, and we all have our usual designated machines. For me, it's the pump Stairmaster or the real Stairmaster. that's like a little escalator, or the rowing machine. So in the morning, I'm usually only doing aerobic work. I don't do any weight work in the morning. So if I'm on the ball, my aerobic stuff is going by 6:05. Set it for 20 minutes. Make sure I track it on my Apple Watch there. Get that out the door. Knock that out. Do whatever I do. Socialize a little bit. Maybe do a little bit more stretching in the gym. I'm all about stretching as much as possible. And then, again, if I'm on the ball, I'm out of the gym I can usually get out of the gym by 6:30, 6:35, and that's just between walking around, socializing, stretching, cooling down, making sure I don't get in my car soaking wet. And then I'm back home, and then it's lay out all my shower stuff and, basically get started. And again, if I can get all this done, I'm all cleaned up, showered, and shaved by 7 o'clock. And even to tell you the truth, with this live video today, I should be able to do that. It looks like it's 6:30 right now. So I get all that done, and I'm ready to go by 7 o'clock. And then if I have morning appointments, I can have the order of those. If I'm going to work on the home office, I'll hop on and start, banging out email, clean up stuff from the night before. But at this point in time, I've already had, my morning routine, my morning sugar, my morning coffee. I've exercised. And this is one of the reasons why I get up at 5 o'clock, and one of the reasons why I try to get up at 5 o'clock. I'm getting ready to sneeze, apologize. Why I try to get up at 5 o'clock 7 days a week is because this is what I want my morning routine to be, even on Saturday and Sunday. I'm a firm believer that, if there's a lot of stuff I need to get done in life, there's a lot of stuff that I want to get done in life, and to do that, I have to take advantage of those extra hours. So I try hard not to even sleep in on the weekends. My alarm is set for 5 o'clock 7 days a week. There are some exceptions if I stay up really late, or I will basically push the alarm out half an hour to an hour, maybe get up at 5:30 or 6. But for the most part, I like to get up at 5 o'clock, even on a Saturday morning, even on a Sunday morning. It gives me a chance to do personal stuff. It gives me a chance to work on Stop Doing Nothing. It gives me a chance to catch up on email. It gives me a chance to, if I'm going to go to the gym, just to get there a little bit earlier than everybody else. If the weather's good, which it's starting to be in Oklahoma City, as I might even go walk a mile or two outside. But so to recap, for those of you that are watching here towards the end, morning stretching is important. Standing as much as possible is important in the morning. Water as much as possible in the morning, and your morning protein. Those are probably the key elements I've noticed over the past 2 or 3 years as I've experimented with my body, have basically helped me lose weight, help my brain get moving faster. At some point in time, we all know that either our brain is in a fog or our brain is ready to go. And as long as I get that morning standing going, that morning stretching going, and that morning water going, my brain gets out of that fog mode as soon as possible. So for those of you that are watching, I'd love to have your comments below about what you do in the morning to get yourself going. Yeah, preach, sister, preach. You know what we're talking about. Oh, and by the way, just to make sure, just so I can get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I aim for my bedtime right around 10 or 10:30. I like to say 10. I admit sometimes it's 10:30, 10:45. But as long as I get to bed in that 10 o'clock hour, 5 o'clock in the morning isn't too painful. And we're talking 7 days a week. So if you're the kind of person who's been wondering about a morning routine, that's mine right there. This has been my morning routine for probably 24, maybe 30 months. And one of the things I did notice is it actually caused me to lose weight. Last year in 2017, beginning of 2017, I was pushing 280. At the end of 2017, I was dropping below 250. And I'm a kind of guy who lifts a lot of weights, and I'm not really trying to drop a lot of weight. I love to exercise. I love to be flexible. I'm not trying to drop a lot of weight, so 250 is ideal for me. 280, it was starting to be painful, getting to the point where I couldn't get, for at least for my frame, I couldn't do a lot without, public speaking, without sweating and things like that. So again, do me a favor. If this has been useful for you, I'm gonna hop off here, and I need to pick up my fork and probably clean it off because we have a cat. Get the morning protein, and again, for those of you that are coming in towards the end, I get a little bit of protein in me in the morning, and these orange things called cuties in me, and I've got my coffee cup from my daughter, which I'm very proud of. It has some very adult words on it right here, very adult words, but my awesome daughter in Chicago. Hey, Cheryl Burr, thank you for tuning in. My Stop Effing Procrastinating coffee cup. That's the only coffee cup I use. We have about 30 coffee cups in this house, and I pick the same coffee cup every single morning. If it's dirty, I'll wash it. Why do I do that? Because I think the message, my daughter even knows this, the messages that we put in front of our eyes, like that message right there. Can you guys see that okay? Let me know. From my side, it's backwards. I have no idea what the logo is, where she got that from. But if you guys can read that okay, and it's not backwards, it's some very adult words. That's just my reminder every single morning. I've also got some Stop Doing Nothing cups, which I'm going to give out to people. Anyway, that's my morning routine. I want you guys to get started with yours. Have a great day. Please don't forget your purpose and your mission in life, and that we're all here to help people. The rest of my Friday morning is going to be spent volunteering at a school, doing some testing monitoring. Every Friday morning, I go to a local school, and I spend about 3 or 4 hours with the kids, doing every possible thing from helping out, maybe with any home issues they're having, to just giving them some of the talk, to basically telling them to pull up their pants, walk straight, and things like that. Boy, there goes my voice. I think I need some caffeine in me. I love every single one of you. Share this video if it's been useful, and I will talk to you again soon. Take care.